From a high Tuscan hill, 50 miles from Florence, between Arezzo and Perugia, rises the equally ancient and noble city of Cortona. Before the city lies a vast and beautiful plain. It is flanked on either side by distant hills and valleys, while behind it are towering yet fruitful mountains. Cortona has a picturesque aspect, quite a bit longer than wide. Turn toward the midnight sun.
This is the description of Cortona in one of the first known guidebooks, compiled by Giacomo Lauro in 1639. After nearly 400 years, that description is still valid.
Rolling landscapes, mysterious mythological origins, the silence that reminds us of Franciscan times, Cortona is both enigmatic and peaceful, a reality lost in time. So let us pass the threshold of this secluded spot between the Lake Trasimeno and the Val di Chiana on tiptoe and try to experience its particular fascination. The ancient Greeks called Cortona the metropolis of the Tyrrhenians, that is, of the Etruscans, and long debated its origins, often referring to mythical ancient heroes and people. Still today, the origin of the city is lost in the fog of numerous legends. Virgil claims that it was founded by Dardanus, who lost his helmet called Coris here. According to the legend, the name Cortona derives from Corito, coming in its turn from Coris.
Another legend reports that 800 years after the flood, Noah, while navigating at the mouth of the Tiber River, entered in the valley of Chiana and lived there for 30 years. One of his offsprings, named Crano, reached one of the hills and was very pleased with the altitude, the amenities and the air of tranquility. Hence, he decided to build the city of Cortona on this spot.
Whether the Virgilian definition of mother of Troy and grandmother of Rome is right or wrong, it is certain that during the Etruscan time, Cortona was one strong lucumonia that controlled the entire Val di Chiana. On that hill, men have left their mark, absorbing and erasing the remains of the oldest settlements.
But the Etruscan metropolis is still there, hidden below layers of unbroken history and preserved by the massive wall, which is still visible today.
The ancient tombs, known as melons because they have a shape of rounded mounds, despite of the robbers that over the centuries have preyed them, have preserved and returned extraordinary treasures. To visit to the Etruscan tombs, especially Tanella di Pitagora and Melone II at Il Sodo, one can set out on the literary of the archaeological park, with its 11 sites disseminated throughout the Cortonese territory.
Evidence of the Etruscan civilization survives among the impressive religious and secular buildings from the Middle Ages, the Renaissance and beyond.
There is the cathedral, erected on the ruins of a Romanesque parish church by followers of Giuliano da San Gallo, the Gothic churches of San Francesco and San Domenico, the 15th century San Nicolò, and the late 16th century Santa Maria Nuova, begun by Cristofanello and continued no less than Vasari.
However, the most outstanding structure is the Church of Santa Maria del Calcinaio, erected in 1483 and planned by Francesco di Giorgio Martini.
Chosen from this project by Luca Signorelli. A noble building of rare elegance, simplicity and harmony. Cortona is intimately linked to the beginning of the Franciscan era. The Eremo delle Celle was the first convent ever built by St. Francis when he first came here in 1211. The convent climbs onto the steep side of the Mount Sant'Egidio, about 600 meters above the sea level. It certainly deserves a break to admire it and enjoy its unbelievable atmosphere. Brother Elia Coppi, staunch friend of St. Francis, gave birth to the Church of San Francesco. It is built in Gothic style with a large rose window in the front and elegant mullioned windows on the sides and on the apses. Inside the church there is a painting of the Annunciation, which is the last work of art by Pietro Berrettini, also known as Pietro da Cortona. On the highest part of Cortona, on a large yard which boasts the most beautiful view of the Val di Chiana, finds itself the church of Santa Margherita, dedicated to Saint Margaret, famous for her conversion after a sinful life.
At the age of 17, she met a young man named Arsenio del Pecora. For 10 years, she lived with him in his house near Montepulciano and bore him a son. Arsenio was murdered on a journey, so Margaret had no choice but returning to his father's house, but her stepmother rejected her. So Margaret and her son went to the friars in Cortona, and in 1277 she joined the Third Order of St. Francis and chose to live in poverty.
The body of the saint is preserved in an urn inside the church, while the wooden crucifix, which according to the tradition spoke to her, is situated on the right-hand side altar.